What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is, it's really for us dorks. I'm gonna kind of enhance the diorama a little bit where we showcase the cars that we look at here and just throw a few scale details in the parking garage that'll just kind of give a little bit of depth, really. I have radio controlled background, if you will. I'm a big fan of the RC hobby. I guess we can take a minute and I have a radio controlled YouTube channel also. It goes by, or the channel name is Toe Shifter. We'll broadcast Toe Shifter here. Bring. And then I'll just take a minute and I'll show you the RC workbench just real quick. So this would be kind of the normal position for radio controlled videos, but this is the studio diorama workbench that I do all of my RC stuff on. And so we can I got like mountainous backdrop. Again, that's why I said this video is for the dorks, and I am the leader in dorkiness. But over here, you've got kind of overhead door, backdrop, storage shelves, entry door, workbench. And then you get over here just into, I really like radio controlled construction. So I just have kind of a little construction set thing going on there. Little Pac-Man machine that works. A guy I used to work with made that sign for the channel. So there's the channel name if you're interested in checking out RC. Go over to Toe Shifter. And then there's one of my Chevy Fleet Side, just to give you an idea how big that is. That's Chevy Fleet Side pickup from Kyosho. And if you watch the videos and pay attention, you'll find a lot of like little details. If we get way into here, there's a little security camera keeping an eye on things in the shop. But here's a little air compressor. There's welding bottles or torch, and then air compressor, and it actually works. Again, I'm a dork. So yeah, there was a quick look at the RC studio workbench, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so me being me, I thought I would add some detail to the 1/64th scale diorama. And so this is I bought it off Amazon. It's from a company called American Diorama. And it's Metal Tools Set A. And it's just a couple of workbenches and a couple of tool chests. And maybe just some little miscellaneous things to put on the workbench. I don't know. We're gonna look at that. And then I was at the local Hobby Lobby the other day. My wife needed to pick up some things. So I was like, well, yeah, I'll tag along and check out the toy aisle. And I picked up my first Johnny Lightning. So we'll just get into this. This is 1976 Plymouth Volare Roadrunner, but it's like Project in Progress edition. So it's like it's like the car's not quite finished, which I think will be a cool little touch for the diorama too. That way there's always a car in the shop, like being worked on, maybe? That's the idea, anyway. And then, if you remember my Auto World 4-pack video, if you didn't see that, then it's fine. You don't have to see it to know what's taking place here. But that was a letdown. My understanding was that Auto Worlds were metal on metal, rubber tires, no questions asked, cool collectible pieces. And so I ordered a 4-pack, and they met none of that criteria. They had die-cast bodies, but plastic bases, plastic wheels, plastic tires, glued, just, it was a letdown. I thought I was scoring a deal on eBay, and maybe the price point was there, but the quality is just not what I expected to get from Auto World. So I have another car to open, and we will get to that when we get over here for the diorama project. So let's go over here and look at some cars. All right, so like I said, I've got this Metal Tools A American Diorama Amazon purchase, and it kind of just nets you what you see in the photo here. I don't expect it to be great quality stuff necessarily, but I think it'll do it'll accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. Supposedly this stuff is metal. Oh, sure, there's tape on it. All right, give me a minute. All right. So just take that lid off. And then this is supposedly all metal stuff. So we've got a little table, another workbench with some backdrop shelves, this little hollow tool cart, another secondary kind of 5-drawer tool chest, 6-drawer, a toolbox, and then a bunch of little tools. There's a vise. We're just going to dump all that. So I think if we take this table and not knock it over, and that we'll kind of use the details that are already there. So this already has a 2-dimensional kind of deal back there. We'll just put that table in front. So maybe we leave that alone. Can I add another one of these? Because they're rolling carts, maybe they just end up getting moved to wherever I need them to be at the time. Just a little bit of depth, and we'll move that out just a touch. What do we think about that? Does that look any better? And then we can put these tires back. I wasn't sure. If you've paid attention, we've had the tires back here for a little while. I bought a bag of loose cars from a lady, and it had the Jurassic Park Unimog Premium in it, but it only had 3 tires. One was missing. So, and it was well played with and pretty abused. So I junked the car, but pulled the 3 good tires off. And now they are part of the diorama, I guess. And then I have all these little things. So maybe toolbox on there. This vise can go on a workbench. This isn't easy. Oh boy, what else do we have here? The turbo. I mean, you're never gonna tell what this stuff is. How's that look? I mean, it adds a little bit of depth. All right, we're not getting wild here. So then the final touch would be the project in progress. And again, my first Johnny Lightning 1976 Plymouth Volare Roadrunner. And again, it's kind of a incomplete or car being worked on kind of a thing. It's called Street Freaks, I guess. Freak facts. The Plymouth Volare was built on the new F platform. The top engine option for the 1976 Plymouth Volare Roadrunner was the 360 cubic inch V8, producing 160 horse. And this thing's color code is bright red and primer because it runs both. Limited edition, 1 of 12,018 made. Die-cast metal body and chassis. So that should rule out any plastic crap on this one. So you kind of get this card, I guess. Red Runner, Johnny Lightning, Project in Progress, number 6. And then Street Freaks 2022 Release 1. And this is, I guess, so you can kind of collect them all if you were so inclined, but interesting. I probably won't hold on to this. This looks like it's made for the trash can with the blister. So, yeah, this is a work in progress. So you see the Roadrunners kind of peeled off there. Maybe that's a mistake. We'll look at the other side. Yeah, it's just gone. This side's got the door primered and not even ready to go. That's kind of cool. So this is all primered. It isn't just painted gray. Like, it's a different texture. Like, it is primered and unfinished. The grill looks pretty darn good, to be honest. You got your BF Goodrich radial TAs, some window vents, the wing, the back's not quite finished. Road BRD, so to me that's Road BRD. Back end looks pretty good. I like the chrome bumper. Taillights look good. And then the interior. It does look as though maybe the steering wheel is broken. That's probably not by design. That might just be an oops in the manufacturing process. But it adds the scale detail. We'll say that. It's meant to be there. What do we got here? Volare. Rubber tires, decent wheel. Ooh, this one's kind of mismanaged. All right, that's better. Fixed a little bit. Rolls much better. But anyway, yeah, I I like that. That's a nice added touch. All right, I think that looks pretty good. And now, if at the beginning of the video I mentioned the Auto World 4-pack and this Mercury Cougar Eliminator that I got with plastic wheels, plastic tires, plastic base. Although it looks decent like this, I was kind of let down by it not being metal on metal with rubber tires. And so when I was at Hobby Lobby and found the shop car, I noticed hanging on the pegs was another Johnny Lightning, and it just happened to be the 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. The same as this car, just Johnny Lightning's version, which Johnny Lightning and Auto World are all owned or ran by Round 2. So the same company, really, but this one, die-cast metal body and chassis, authentic factory colors, brand new casting, limited edition, 1 of 12,240, bright blue poly, and the classic facts. This is the first release of our new 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator casting. The vast majority of the Eliminator models use the 428 Cobra jet engine, making 335 horse and 440 pound-feet of torque. And then, if you remember in this video, the fun fact was the Eliminator was a package or a trim level. And so you could get the Eliminator package in your Mercury Cougar, and it only cost you $129.60 for that upgrade, which is hard to even wrap your head around with what you pay today for any sort of add-on in a vehicle. But we're going to crack this open and compare the two, and I can already tell you that this is way better. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. So we're not going to look at this again because we already did, but it's there in the background. This Johnny Lightning, which, you know what we didn't do? We didn't look at the base of the shop car. March 9th of 2022, manufacture date, Johnny Lightning, made in China. Getting into a much nicer Mercury Cougar Eliminator. We've got Firestone wide ovals, nice wheel. The paint looks really good. Try to get the light a little better here. Eliminator right there, Cougar. And then the back looks really good. See the plate, Eliminate for, obviously, eliminate. They could have put an R on the end and then had Eliminator, but Eliminate is cool. Especially, you know, if you were gonna race this, you would eliminate your opponent. Interior looks good. Steering wheel, dash, all that's black. You can see the makings of a shifter. Seat detail. Door panel detail. That all looks nice. Better look at that wheel. And then this looks really good. Cougar logo or emblem on the grill. Plate, lower valance. And then this has black, but it is a metal base. February 23rd of 2022. We're going to get to read that. Round 2 LLC, you see that there? That is the company that owns Johnny Lightning, or produces Johnny Lightning and Auto World both. Very, very nice car. I like that a lot. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the diorama upgrade. I think it just adds a little bit of depth. Certainly the detail isn't that great when you get down to really tiny 1/64th scale stuff, but it does add to the effect and the diorama. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. That's going to do it for today. We will see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Thanks. We'll see you soon.